And believe me, hell is not the answer. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 and 20 says, "Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? For you were bought at a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." God owns your body and God owns your spirit. You don't have a right to take your life. It does not belong to you. It belongs to God. It was bought with a price. Jesus died so that you didn't have to. It was bought with a price. And if you take the life of one of God's children, you have to pay the price. You know that? That God will show you on Judgment Day after taking your own life and say, you have no right because that belonged to me, which you destroyed. You know what happens, though? What happens is we give our heart, we give our soul, and we give our spirit to other things. And then those things let us down and don't go our way. And then we begin to struggle with that because we're dealing with a broken heart. And then we think that the only answer is to take our own lives because we've put our faith, we've put our trust, and we put our soul into something that is imperfect. You know, that God on that day, God talked to me. God talked to me. Let me know how he talked to me. He talked to me because I was willing to open the line of communication between me and my God. I was willing to at least ask God to say, listen, I am struggling. Now, did my scenario change? No, I was still an addict. I was still separated. I still couldn't see my kids. I still didn't have any money, and I still craved those drugs. But God came in today, and he says, you know what? He says, if you start today, in a year, I'll change your life. That was over 10 years ago. God didn't promise that, you know what, I will just change. He says, you know what, no, I'll give you a new answer. I'll give you a new hope for every day. Every day you'll get stronger, I promise. Every day a little less you will bleed, I promise. Every day that mind in your imagination will begin to be quieter and quieter as you listen to my voice and not the enemy's voice. Things that invoke suicide. These are things that you need to list or check in your life and see that, you know what, is this one of the things I'm dealing with, why I want to take my own life. Life's weariness will cause you to want to take your own life. When life comes on and you begin to get weary, you begin to get down, you begin to get depressed, then that's when you feel like, you know what, I'm going to take my life. But the Bible says that weeping may endure through the night, but joy comes in the morning. If you can just hold on to today. I don't know about tomorrow, but get through today. And then tomorrow, just get through today. Just get through today. Because he promises that tomorrow will be different. Life's vanity. Sometimes we believe that we're all that. Sometimes we believe that we're everything to everybody. And then when you realize you ain't nothing to nobody, then you feel like taking your own life. But you know what? When you begin to put, you say, you know what? I want everybody to think that I'm somebody, and they don't think that you're nothing. And then you get depressed, and then you want to commit suicide. But if you say, you know what, God? I think that I am everything to you. God will come down and say, you know what? You're everything to me. I created the sun so it will shine just for you. I created the trees that you can enjoy just for you. I created the water that you can drink just for you. I created the moon so you can enjoy it just for you. And then you begin to realize that I must be something amazing if God would create the sun, the moon, and the stars just for me. Anger. Anger and hate will cause you to suicide. You must deal with your anger. You must put your anger on the altar and say, Lord, I give it to you. I can't be mad anymore. Anger will weigh you down like a ton of bricks. Anger will tether you to that person or to that thing that has hurt you. Anger will keep you up at night. Anger will cause you to have a bad attitude. Anger and hate. You know that anger and hate are in the family of murder? Anger and hate are in the family of murder. You know, when a detective goes to a crime scene, he'll examine the body and see how the body was murdered to tell if whoever killed that person knew them or not. Because somebody that knows somebody will be so enraged in hate that they will kill more than somebody who is a stranger. Because when you hate and when you're full of anger and that spirit of murder comes on you, you know, sometimes you hate yourself. Sometimes, why am I so dumb? Why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I act like that? Why did I do that? I'm so dumb. I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate when I look in the mirror. I hate what I look like. I hate what I've done. I hate where I'm going. I hate what's around me. I hate the people I know. I hate. And the spirit of murder falls on you. And you think the only answer to this anger and to the hate is to murder myself. Get it twisted, church. Whenever you're in hatred or anger, the spirit of murder lurks close behind. That was self-hate, hopelessness. The Bible says, put your hope in me. Hopelessness, which means there is no hope. I feel like there is no hope. You know what? As long as there's hope, man, there's life. As long as there's hope, hope for tomorrow, hope for a better week, hope for a better month, hope for a better year, hope for a better decade, hope for a new tomorrow, just hope. But when you begin to feel like you're hopeless and there's nothing left, and then you say, you know what, the only thing to do for me is to take my own life because it's so hopeless. But let me tell you something. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is hope. As long as you breathe in and breathe out, there is hope for you. You can be in a coma, you could be in an accident, you could be sick, you could be divorced, you could be single, you could be poor, you could be rich, you could be lost. But as long as there is breath in your lungs, church, there is hope. Sin will cause you to commit suicide. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. Because sin leads to anger, and anger leads to self-hate, and self-hate leads to murder. See that? How that goes? Disappointment. Life is going to have its ups and downs. Sister Julia confirmed it. It ain't always going to be easy. It ain't always going to go our way. And we're going to have some disappointment in our life. Sister Julia said it's not about what happens to you. It's about how you handle it. Sometimes we need to set a standard. You know what? If you take your own life, the percentage of your child killing themselves goes up. Yes, that's your lineage. That's your heritage. That's what you leave behind. That, you know what? When life gets tough and things don't get my way and I get disappointed, then take your life. You know, if you take your life, you know, there would have been experiences. There wouldn't have been relationships. There wouldn't have been opportunity. There wouldn't have been blessings. There wouldn't have been mountaintops. God has something better for you. A broken heart will cause you to take your life. Disobedience. Go back to broken heart real fast. I'm already halfway done, see? I'm trying to keep you late. A broken heart will cause you to take your own life. Let me tell you why. Because you put your heart into a person and you give it to them. You say, here is my love. Here is my heart. And when the person shatters that love, or when the person breaks that bond, then it begins to hurt inside of you, and you begin to contemplate things like suicide. When you give your heart to God, God will never leave you nor forsake you. God will never cheat on you. God will never lie to you. God will never talk behind your back. God will never ignore you. God will never come against you. So we have to, as we give our heart to the people that we love, we also have to give our heart to God. So that when those whom we love here on earth break our heart, God is in our heart and He can help us fix it. We can help us fix that broken heart. I'm not telling you that your heart is never going to be broken. Your heart is going to be broken. We are human beings. Do you know that 80% of people would rather see something be destroyed than something be built. 80% of people would rather see something destroyed than something being built. That's why when something happens in your relationship or your marriage, it's like the people around you kind of enjoy what you're going through. Yes, yes. Because they would rather see something destroyed than something built. Your heart is going to be broken. Your spouse is going to break your heart. Your children are going to break your heart. Your boss is going to break your heart. Your landlord is going to break your heart. But when you have that experience of a broken heart, you allow God to help you fix it. So then the lineage that you leave behind to your children is that, you know what, tough times are going to come, but I serve a God that not only helps me get through it, but He helps me heal. You've got to embrace the healing process. Isn't it funny that Sister Julia would go to the doctor and say, I'm hurting, and the answer is, cut her open. Right? It's like, wait a minute. I had a cousin who had surgery a few weeks ago. The answer was, cut your stomach open and let's take out some of your intestines. Like, that's the answer? But sometimes God comes in and says, okay, I know that this is going to hurt a little bit, but the healing process is this. Sometimes you've got to let go and let God. That's so hard for me. That's so hard for me to let go and let God. But that's part of the healing process. It's part of the circle that God says, you know what? Maybe I just need to work on you one-on-one for right now. Maybe I just need to talk to just you right now. Did you ever think that maybe God called you first, and He'll call them once He fixes you, once He changes you? Disobedience will cause suicide. If you're doing the opposite of what God asked you, rebellion. Here's one that I like that will cause suicide is embarrassment. Embarrassment will cause someone to take their life. Because they're embarrassed at what happened. They're embarrassed of what they did. They're embarrassed of the scenario. But rather than to let God fix them and heal them and learn from that process, they make it worse by taking their life because they couldn't face embarrassment. Let me tell you something, church. There is nothing that you can go through that somebody hasn't already gone through. And when you realize that you say, you know what, yeah, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. You know, I'm very embarrassed by it. But you know what? I'm going to get through it. I'm going to survive it. Ego. Your ego will cause you to take your own life. Your ego, your pride. Like, you know what? I'll show them. You know what? They need me. You know what? I'm going to show them. I'm going to go take my own life because I'm going to show them. You know what? I got so much pride. Rather than to humble, rather than to forgive, rather than to ask forgiveness, I don't care. I'm just going to take my own life because of my ego and my pride. Depression will cause you to take your own life. That's why God says, you know what? I want to lift you up. I want to lift you, I want to build you, I want to feel. You know, the word depression means that, you know, when you squeeze something down, when you push something down to be depressed. But God says, I want to lift you up and I want to feel you. Because we get so brokenhearted, we get so depressed that we feel empty inside. Have you ever hurt so bad in your spirit, in your emotions? Just hurt bad. Just wish that you were anybody but yourself. Just wish that you were just never born. You were never here. And you hurt so bad and you feel so empty inside. Well, God wants to come and fill you up with purpose. And fill you up with the reason to continue to keep moving forward. That the storm, you know what? The storm will stop. The storm will cease. There will be a day